Greetings. This is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. We got another breaking story tonight. Seems to be a nightly occurrence these days. We are March 3rd, 2022 tonight, coming to you from southern Ukraine. Little red cursor right here. I'm not even going to attempt to try to say that. You guys can read that, come up with your own pronunciation. But the bottom line, this is home to the largest nuclear plant in Europe. And it is currently has come under fire. They are having a firefight at this nuclear plant in Ukraine. It is the largest nuclear plant, not only in Ukraine, but also in Europe. I read this accounts for, I think at least 25% of Ukraine's electricity in the country. And again, leading the charge, Senator Marco Rubio was the first one to tweet out about this. So this makes 3 times now. He's becoming a pretty interesting follow. He was the first to tweet about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. He was tweeting last night about the power grid loss in Taiwan and internet being down. And tonight, we're just going to follow the stream. I'm going to trust him more than I trust what's being put out there in the news. Russian invaders are shelling the largest nuke plant in Europe. Reports now that portions of the plant are now on fire. We will confirm that later. Here is one particular link. You guys can click on this from YouTube. There are links all over Twitter, live feeds. You can watch this thing go down in real time. And you can see tracers flying all over this nuclear plant. And that's what it is. It's a live feed of Russians invaders in Ukraine. Patriots battle for the control of the largest nuclear plant in Europe. Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant in Ukraine has 6 reactors, largest one in all of Europe, 9th largest on Earth. Currently, Russia is attacking it with mortars and RPGs. Portions of the plant are currently on fire. Russians firing on firefighters, too. So you got Ukrainian firefighters trying to put this thing out, and then you got Russians shooting at them. Russian soldiers have entered the nuclear plant, and there's a growing fire on site, and now a firefight occurring inside the 9th largest nuclear power plant in the world. Russian soldiers have breached the main building of the nuke plant in Ukraine. Active firefight is going on inside a facility that's already on fire, controls 6 reactors. Firefighters unable to fight the fire because they're in the middle of a combat zone. Now, the plant is built to withstand a direct hit from an airplane crash, and the issue gets to be is loss of power or a shell draining pools used to store spent fuel. That fuel is not cooled, it can melt and release large amounts of radioactivity. So that's the concern. Ukrainian officials telling the media and U.S. officials that there are elevated radiation levels are being detected. I've seen that in several other places on the internet. And that's the thing, too. When these things are developing, all kinds of stories out there. Just got to be real careful. It takes some time to sort some stuff out. Ukrainian TV is reporting that a reactor is on fire, but that it is not currently operating, but does have nuclear fuel inside. I have seen video of them lighting up one of those reactors with, RPGs, and you can see tracer fire going into it. Second Ukraine official just now says reactor was hit and is inactive with fuel inside, but that's its administrative building, which is on fire. No information about elevated radiation levels. It says meltdown unlikely, but leak is possible. No other info verified. So that was about an hour ago. I've seen some things that suggested that there are radioactive levels. elevated radioactive levels in this area. And I think this is a very good statement. All sorts of contradictory information, understandable given the fact their country is being invaded and at war. So I know the UN's called an emergency meeting within the hour. That's the Marco Rubio Twitter feed. He's just about to become a must follow because, I mean, he is on the Intelligence Committee, leading Republican official on the Intelligence Committee. So here's another link. I mean, so you can go to Twitter, just pull up Ukraine nuclear facility, and you can watch this happen. Now, this was recorded earlier. This appears to be in slow motion, but it lights up the sky. And then once we get through this, we're going to see, fire being exchanged at the facility. So bizarre, so surreal. It just kind of leaves you speechless. I don't know what else to say. We've got this is Christopher Miller. He's outstanding. I think he's an embedded reporter in Ukraine following this. Inner Godar is what some people call it. Other videos showing shelling and gunfire. Yep, I've seen them. Go to the top here real quick. Just hear me out with some of this. See what we get. 28 minutes ago has not affected essential equipment. Plant personnel taking mitigatory, I can't say it, actions. So far, 16 minutes ago, essential equipment at nuclear plant not affected by fire. And that's according to the IAEA. Those are the same people who are investigating what's going on in Iran with some of their nuclear equipment. We know how well that worked. Sorry, a little suspicious. Not that I believe everything they tell me. Fire at Ukrainian nuke plant. This is from Zero Hedge, another interesting follow. Futures are tumbling. Oh, yeah, the markets are going crazy. Oil popped. I mean, it's the same things we're seeing over and over. Cost of oil going up. Gasoline's going up. Gold was up. US dollar was up. Stocks were down across the board. 8 minutes ago, officials say safety breached. Reactors in danger. That's according to a report from the facility. Fire. Training building outside the plant's perimeter. So, I mean, this is what, I mean, you go through this and this is what you filter. All kinds of stuff. This is crazy. I hope this isn't true. I saw this. I'm going to look at, let's talk about these two briefly. I hope he didn't do this. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham calls for President Putin's assassination. Do we need to be calling for the assassination of heads of state? I just don't think that's a sound idea. Historically, just because you get rid of one bad guy, I mean, the recent history of the world is you get rid of one guy, and the guy that comes in behind him is even crazier than the one you just tried to get rid of. I mean, and I saw this today. This is a Jerusalem Post. $1 million bounty for the arrest of President Putin was offered to military officers by Russian entrepreneur. We'll just call him Alex, in a post he published on social media this week. I've also seen one where somebody was calling for his assassination. Zelensky accuses Russia of nuclear terror. And again, UK calls emergency meeting of the UN Security Council after fighting at the nuclear plant. Crazy times. So again, we got this going on. And I know we've spent a couple of posts just talking about some of the death, how death is described by the Old Testament prophets. Some make sense. It could be nuclear. Some make sense. It could be some other sort of device. But the bottom line is, at some point, this planet is headed toward significant death and destruction. And And Jesus said there will be wars and rumors of wars. And just think about what all we are seeing just in the last 7 days. I mean, it has escalated significantly. So keep you guys posted. The way things are going, I expect I'll be talking to you again here pretty shortly. So pray for the peace of this planet. And pray for the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. And he died for us. And you may want to think about that. Because when he comes back, he's not coming back as a lamb. And there's time to turn to the lamb now. There won't be. At some point, eventually he's coming. For sure, he's one day closer than he was yesterday at the least. So appreciate all you guys that follow along. Wish you all the best. Take care. Have a good evening. Bye.